Good morning, everyone. My name is İrem Dilek. I'm a PhD candidate and a research assistant at Middle East Technical University. I'm going to present our study we have conducted together with Pınar Kaygan, an associate professor again at Middle East Technical University at Department of Industrial Design. The title of our study is Flexibility, Instability, and the Role of Networks, comparison of the work conditions of the designer entrepreneurs and the designers on online crowdwork platforms. The focus of our study and the presentation is the industrial design profession and industrial designers. Today, the definition of work is not the same as in the past, and the world of work has changed dramatically. Developments such as the rising importance of specific business activities and occupations, the need for increased flexibility by both employers and workers, and the increasing use of advanced information and communications technology in the society and the economy have resulted in the emergence of new forms of work and employment. As in many professions, these developments also affected the industrial design field and led to the diversification of professional practice in the design field. For many years, there were two career paths dominating industrial design graduates' professional practice. These are working as an in-house designer or working as a design consultant for various clients from diverse industries. As design researchers working mainly in the fields of design management and industrial design practice, we observed new ways of professional practice emerging in the field of industrial design. Design entrepreneurship and design crowdwork are the two forms that have gained popularity among industrial designers in recent years. The first group, which we named design entrepreneurs, are industrial designers who have established their own micro businesses. In this work model, industrial designers are involved in all processes, including design, production, and marketing activities of their offerings. In terms of the service and product types offered by the businesses, our data offers a broad range, includes furniture and home accessories, jewelry, child education and entertainment products, food, textile, ceramics, stationery, etc. Here in the image on the right, you see an example of an enterprise that offers home and office accessories designs. Another important point here is that these design entrepreneurs, enter this business not by finding some funds, but by their own capital and their designer skills. They establish these businesses with their own small capital, relying on their knowledge and skills from their design education. The second group is composed of the designers on online crowdwork platforms. They are industrial designers who carry out design projects on crowdwork websites. Unlike design entrepreneurs, in crowdwork, designers are not responsible for production or marketing of the designs. They only put their creativity or produce innovative solutions to trending current issues by uncomplicated, clear presentation techniques. It can be said that it's more creativity oriented compared to the tasks in design entrepreneurship. European-based Jovoto, Kirki, and DSOL are some of the most popular examples of the crowdwork platforms where the industrial design related projects are carried out. These platforms have hundreds of thousands of members and thousands of people come up with ideas for each project. These platforms often work with global brands. Platforms act as an intermediary for global brands to collect solutions for problems they foresee from the geographically dispersed mass of people. For example, on this slide, you see a screenshot from the Jovoto platform. Nespresso here is the global brand that gave the project through the Jovato platform. And creating new products by recycling coffee capsules is a desired design project. And the design called EcoPod that appears in the middle is the solution developed by a designer to this problem. After defining the two groups of designers or the work models we work on, it will be useful to shortly mention how entrepreneurship and crowdwork are described in the existing literature. Actually, small enterprises established by creative workers were less explored compared to freelance or project-based creative work. But entrepreneurship is also idealized in creative professions. In line with the studies that highlight the idealization of entrepreneurship in creative industries, the authors argue that creative entrepreneurship usually involves a substantial amount of idealism, so much so that some entrepreneurs consider their project as the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. Crowdwork, on the other hand, is a newly emerging model compared to entrepreneurship. Because it's so new and completely virtual, it's highly criticized in the literature. First of all, crowdwork has no agreed upon laws or work regulations that are accepted by everyone. For this reason, issues such as social protection and taxation are unknown in this way of working. Also, each crowdwork platform has its own operating rules, terms of service, which are mostly rules that protect the platform but not protect its workers. Also, unseen labor, quick replacement of workers, dependency on constant networking, and constant effort to be visible in the crowd are the other sides criticized about the crowdwork model. Therefore, we can suggest that compared to entrepreneurship, crowdwork is a more precarious employment method about which there are still many unknowns. We conducted two different projects at different times with industry designers following these two methods. After completing both projects, we wanted to look at and compare the two groups of designers through the lens of their working conditions. So we asked the following question. In what ways do the work conditions of design entrepreneurs and designers on crowdwork platforms show similarities? To continue with the research design, in both studies conducted with entrepreneurial designers and designers on crowdwork platforms, a qualitative approach is adopted. In order to get a deep understanding and to explore how industry designers interpret their experiences on these work models, semi-structured interview is selected as the data collection method. We conducted interviews with 25 entrepreneurial designers and 22 designers on platforms for the two different projects. And all of the participants are Turkish designers. And the data collected through all the interviews is analyzed with thematic template analysis method. In the following slides, I will present the findings from the comparison of the two models. Flexibility is the first thing that shows similarity in the working conditions of entrepreneurial designers and designers working on crowdwork platforms. Flexibility mentioned here is related to the fact that designers in both two groups have the opportunity to control and adjust their working hours according to their personal needs. This provides them actually with flexibility. Our designer participants in both samples had experience working as in-house designers. Working as an in-house designer brings the responsibility to work in predetermined hours in the company. It was common among our participants to state that establishing their own businesses and engaging crowdwork activities provide them with the freedom of managing one's own time. This freedom to determine when to work increases their motivation while working, since they can spare personal time for themselves. As you can see from the quotations, Designers give examples of activities they want to do for themselves, such as going for a coffee by the sea or cycling in nature. Apart from allocating time for themselves, having control over their working hours and schedules in these work models help designers from both groups in different issues. During the recruitment process for the research with entrepreneurial designers, we were surprised to see that the majority of the designers we identified were women. As we interviewed them, we understood that for many women industry designers, setting their own business served as a good strategy to better balance their private life and work life, especially after they had children. While these designers also work for long hours to run their businesses, having control over their schedule and working hours provided them with great flexibility in case of their personal caring responsibilities. You can see from the first quotation that one of the design entrepreneurs told she was able to care for her child while working. For the designers on Crowdwork platforms, on the other hand, Crowdwork provides flexibility different than design entrepreneurs. When the designers do not have time for a full-time job in some cases, such as having a graduate degree as in the example, Crowdwork allows them to continue practice their profession and earn money since there is no time limit to be able to do projects on platforms. One participant who continues graduate degree and language classes and not being able to work full-time for this reason can take projects and continue to practice her profession on Crowdwork platform, as the second quotation shows. Getting support from the salaried full-time job because of the instability in the new work model is the second common thing, according to the points of the designers from both groups. Although designers start their businesses with very little investment, some of the entrepreneurial designers continue their salaried job for a while when they first started their businesses. This is because they have to constantly invest in something related to their business until their business settles down, and they do not have a fixed income here every month as in their salaried jobs. Designers continue to support themselves with the salary they receive from their full-time job until they reach a certain average income in their businesses. For instance, one entrepreneurial designer voiced he quit his salary job after taking his salary job. So, as you can see in the first cut, when the business cannot turn itself, the entrepreneurial designers can transfer from their salaries to the business to turn the business on. This situation is also true for designers taking projects on Crowdwork platforms. For 19 out of 22 participants, Crowdwork is not the only or the main source of income. Designers get their main income from in-house positions in companies or as a design consultants by giving design services to various clients. This is because of that designers think there is an instability in the project flow and so the income in Crowdwork. As the second quotation shows, they believe if the number of these platforms increases and designers can get enough projects by registering more than one platform, only then can Crowdwork become the main source of income and they can quit their salary job. Lastly, the role of network is common for both two models. Professional contacts were described as important factor by both group of designers in designers' encouragement for starting their micro businesses and design Crowdwork. Our data obtained from two groups of designers show that professional network consists of a range of connections with former employers, classmates from higher education, and colleagues met during previous jobs. In the analysis of the data gathered from the interviews with entrepreneurial designers, we found out that Professional networks had provided vital support, especially in the early stages of establishing our participants' businesses, when they had struggled to initiate their businesses with small budgets. The first quotation here shows the account of one participant who develops a women's swimwear brand, indicated that she could launch her first collection in a prestigious fashion show without spending any money, thanks to the free support provided by her colleagues in the fashion industry. Crowdwork also depends strongly upon networks starting the platform, as the interviews with 22 industry designers show, the vast majority of the participants hear about the Crowdwork platforms from their colleagues or the friends from the design school and begin to practice Crowdwork in this way. Only 3 of the 22 participants self-discovered the platforms. The second quotation shows one of the designers who started Crowdwork with the recommendation of a friend and then recommended it to a friend. As in the code, designers invite their colleagues to the platform to do projects together. Designers who are new to the platform prefer to do their first projects with colleagues who recommended the platform to them. In this way, they benefit from the experiences of their friends who have been working on the platform for a while. Also, they think they can make themselves visible faster by working with someone who has been active on the platform for a while. To conclude, design entrepreneurship is on the rise, and it looks like a good alternative to working as an in-house in companies. In entrepreneurship, the brand, the enterprise itself, refers to the designer. So the designer herself and her labor are at the forefront. They are visible. Crowdwork, however, is more unknown, looking more precarious. It's a model in which the designer's labor is not in sight. In Crowdwork, the designer remains almost anonymous among thousands of people who quickly develop ideas by using their creativity. But ultimately, our data show that these two work models seem very similar in some ways. The way designers start these work models and how they survive in these models seem very similar. However, before finishing the presentation, I have to say that although similarities are seen in these two models, the general conditions for design entrepreneurs are better. And for this reason, design entrepreneurs believe that they can continue their careers in this way after they reach a certain point in their businesses. On the contrary, for designers working on platforms, their experience in Crowdwork is more negative. Designers engaged in this work model do not think that the platform-based design work will find a place in their future careers. And these are the references I use. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your kind attention.